Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. I'm sorry for the background fireworks noise. You're probably going to hear some pops and sounds. That's some asshole that is illegally firing off fireworks. Anywho, let's get into this news story from We Got This Covered. It's 4 hours old. The future of the MCU is reportedly female, diversity, and LGBT. And I will be giving my own opinion on this article and my own thoughts on this too. For the past 2 years, there's been much talk from the bosses at Marvel Studios about their plans to improve representation in the MCU, and sure enough, it sounds like Kevin Feige and his team are staying true to their word. Or true their word, whatever. You have terrible grammar. According to the source close to We Got This Covered, the future of the MCU will be heavily focused on diversity, female characters, and LGBT representation. In particular, we are told that the production house is very keen to correct the imbalance after so many of their movies have been led by white male superheroes. Jesus Christ. Are you freaking kidding me? If it wasn't for the females in those superhero movies, the hero, or in those male superhero movies, they would have failed. Because like I said before, Pepper Potts was integral in beating Obadiah Stane. She was integral in beating the Mandarin guy. Can't even remember his name because that movie is, I'd love to forget, Iron Man 3. But, yeah, all the female characters in the Iron Man movies, they were... And the MCU, all the way up through Phase 1 through Phase 3, were all important. They may not have been leading characters, but they were all important. As for the representation and whatnot, and diversity, believe it or not, why is Marvel focusing on movies for kids and making these characters' sexual preferences put on screen? You do know young children are going to be watching these movies, right? Why do you feel the need to indoctrinate our nation's youth and the world's youth into whatever you want to turn them into? Why do you feel the need to teach these children things that should be taught by their parents to them? You see, sexuality and sexual preference do not belong in children's movies. It is one of the reasons why I'm boycotting Marvel, because their actions reek of pedophilia. Not actual sexual stuff with kids, but you feel the need to push your sexual views onto children. And that is wrong. Let's continue. Also, this white male superheroes thing. Bitch, please. You're engaging in tokenism. It's outright racism. On top of that, it is said that the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will introduce, or at least plants the seeds for a new lineup for the team that will reflect the studio's continuing focus on representation. And lastly, we are hearing that the new X-Men, they will eventually enter the MCU, will be more diverse than their Fox predecessors. Ugh. Not even going to continue reading this because it's ridiculous. Anywho, the point is, they want to do gender swapping and race swapping and all that stuff in the name of representation, which they really don't need to do because, believe it or not, they have representation in other movies and whatnot. They got the black representation, they got the women representation, they got the people of color, they got all that crap. Anywho, they are going into this whole thing, which is ridiculous. It's why I walked away from the MCU. I do not think that what they are doing is appropriate for children. And what they are doing is only serving to divide fans because they're doing it not because they care about fans, because they only care about a small number of fans if they do, with their little stupid pandering to identity politics and token racism. But they're doing it to push an agenda, which they did not do all the way from Iron Man to Infinity War. They pushed no agenda. When they did Captain Marvel, all the way up to their current movie, or Captain Marvel, Endgame, and Far From Home, they did the whole agenda thing. And that is what is stupid. It's why people didn't like Captain Marvel. It's why it didn't sell as good as it could have. And it's why people said it sucks. I don't care if a movie grosses $1 billion. It doesn't mean it's good. I don't care if a movie grosses $2.8 billion. It doesn't mean it's good. I know a lot of people who are diehard MCU fans. You want to know what they said about Endgame and Captain Marvel? They were not the best movies ever in the MCU. In fact, one of them said that Captain Marvel should have just skipped it. Another person said the MCU Endgame was terrible. I was in the middle of my theater house during the pre-screening of Endgame. And as soon as the credits rolled, I'm like, well, that sucked. Most of the people there, except for a couple of people here and there, that actually agreed with me, everybody else looked at me like I shot a kid. I didn't. But other people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it was a walking plot hole. Not to mention the forced narratives that they just pushed. And whatnot. Introducing things that didn't serve the plot. I could go on, but that's a different story altogether, or a different video altogether. Anyway, that's the video. The MCU is going complete nuts. They're forcing sexual preference on children, and they're acting in very inappropriate ways. That's the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Sorry for the earlier noise from the assholes outside firing off fireworks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think this whole forced diversity and representation crap is appropriate for children? Do you think that the message they're trying to send children is appropriate? Let me know in the comments below. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. I'll catch y'all on the next one.